Wait, did I already cover the latest? I'm pretty sure I did, right? Wait, there's a bunch of new memes. Yeah, there's a lot. There's like 4 documents.
On the ground for the court lacks subject matter jurisdiction over this dispute because the date of the alleged transmission of the video preceded the effective date of the federal statute, which forms the basis of the plaintiff's complaint. Pxie knew this from the very beginning as well. Maybe more will come out about this, maybe not, but basically, I can say with 100% certainty that Pxie and Lauren have been collaborating to hide and obscure evidence. When I keep complaining publicly and I keep saying, they're not giving me discovery, she's not giving me discovery, she's not giving me discovery, that's bullshit and I'm lying to you. I know why they're not giving me discovery. It's because the both of them have collaborated on destroying stuff so that they have nothing to turn over to me. That's what I really meant when I was saying that, but that's what's been going on the entire time. That's why I said I'm going after Lauren's legal license as soon as this case is over. I'm going to be trying to file the mother of all bar complaints in Florida to get her disbarred. And then Pxie, if she ever tries to do character and fitness or whatever, for whatever bullshit, law school she's going to, it'll be the same thing.
Bro, dude. Guys, looks like we won't have a shortage of things to read and look at and process. Oh, I'm an old man, okay? I've been at this stuff for many years at this point, okay? Many years I have been doing drama, okay? Over 20 years now.
Would you prefer not to win on the motion to dismiss so you can get subpoena info from Lauren for her disbar? No, I'm never getting anything via subpoena from Lauren. Her and Pxie have been maliciously and intentionally covering their trail and doing stuff to make sure that nothing will ever be produced from her that will be incriminating. This has been in place since the very start of these proceedings. So it doesn't matter if anything happens court-wise or any of that. It literally doesn't matter. Yeah. This is a declaration from my lawyer. This is a transcript from the deposition. This is under seal until... I don't know if this technically ever gets unsealed or not. I don't know.
This is why I can't be a lawyer, okay? I can't be a lawyer because I can't be spending my entire fucking existence reading out essays, okay? I'm done reading college essays. I'm fucking over it. I'm done reading college essays. I have to read one more fucking bloody college essay. I will destroy something. Do you want it to be an audiobook narrator? Yeah, but okay. I was desperate, okay? I don't actually want to be an audiobook. I just wanted to read from the fucking manuscript, okay?
Screw you. In the 3 weeks. So I'll get to Jones' motion soon. I just want to say that a few weeks ago, I laughed about the fact that people were like, how could any of this possibly be true? Like, it seems so unbelievable. True, thank you. I agree. It does seem really unbelievable, which is one of the reasons why it was such a mindfuck. So, like Joan Peters and Pxie, they have switched gears into saying that, oh, well, the other girl must just be lying about everything because there's no way that any of that could be true. If that's the road that you want to go down, then feel free to do whatever you want. Remember, no matter what happens, I have to be the devil. Literally.
That's such a silly fucking road to go down as well. Like, you have to be in some insane, unhinged denial to still be on the path of, well, they still have a chance in this case because all of these what ifs have to happen in a row, and somehow this astronomically small chance that all of these what ifs lead to everything playing out in their favor. What? How? You sound retarded, okay? This entire lawsuit is collectively taking the brain cells of everyone that is engaging with it, including me. My brain cells are dying, screaming, dying because of this lawsuit. I am in pain.
Every horrible thing in the universe must originate with me, and if anything else seems to say otherwise, that they must be lying. But I thought she was impersonated. How does she know exactly what happened if someone else was acting as her? I'm not saying she's lying. Just she can't know everything if someone is impersonating her. You can't have someone testify to personal knowledge if they weren't there / involved with the event. So the person who was operating the account, who was catfishing me with her stuff. So this is a common thing that these fucking retros keep bringing up. Like, oh, well then, how did he get... tell me then, Destiny, how is it that she's wearing your fucking merch? Haha. Because this guy ordered it, sent it to her house, had her take pictures of it, and then posted those pictures of her in my merchandise to me on the catfished account. This person went way the fuck beyond to try to mindfuck and catfish me and make me, to ensure that I really thought this person was who I was talking to. So, yes, if you think it's incredibly fucking crazy and unlikely and weird and whatever, yes, welcome to my fucking life. But you also could just accuse, the actual victim of all of this as just somebody who's lying over and over again with absolutely no evidence. But, yeah, we have 3 new filings from plaintiff filed today.
God. Okay, thank God. I don't need to read it. So is Epstein.
Did he order it from your store? Wouldn't you have...
The world isn't ready for that yet.
Yeah, I would. The issue is that all of my legal work initially was going to be plaintiff work. Also, ignore everything I'm saying because apparently I'm lying about all of this, despite the fact that multiple people have seen this packet that I was putting together, but everybody says I'm lying about this on Discord server because that's fine because these people are all subhuman. But the initial firm that I was working for in...
Oh, he's talking about the packet that goes after Solo, right? It's a real packet. The packet was pages upon pages of pictures and text, of exchanges and information going after Solo. it's a real piece of formal documentation that it seems like Destiny was getting ready to use to go after Solo.
New York was going to be plaintiff work to go against the person who leaked everything. As soon as the defense work started, the plaintiff case took not a backseat. I axed it because I can't afford psychologically or monetarily to run two huge lawsuits at the same time. Okay, so theoretically, the payment information would be available from the person who initially the merch was sold to. That was a road that I was going down. But in order to get the information from them, their legal team won't release it to me because it includes addresses and everything else without a subpoena. And since I didn't file that lawsuit yet for the New York case, because we weren't ready to file that lawsuit yet, I didn't have anything there that I could use to do legal pressure against them. So yeah. All right, number 1. Plaintiff Jane Doe's motion.
Okay. I have no idea what's going to happen here on now, okay? All right, I didn't read these because these were released today, and I don't want to read them. So I'm going to have Stevie here read these for me, okay? I'm getting old. I'm just getting old. I'm getting too old for this
to
shit.
modify the scheduling order. So this is her begging to kick back discovery, despite the fact that they've found nothing, produced nothing, and done nothing so far, and have operated in the most bad faith manner possible, including but not limiting to fabricating a person like Abby, who is clearly like fucking mentally ill or has brain injury, to get a statement from her and then refuse to produce her for any deposition. Have not sat her for deposition at all. We've got no statements, no evidence, nothing from her. They simply got a piece of paper the night before our evidentiary hearing, and then off into the wind she fucking disappears. Despite the fact that initially they said they fully represented her, and then apparently they changed their mind on that, and then they said they represented her for matters of the subpoena, and then they changed their mind on being able to provide us information about that. So they literally just stuck a fucking post-it note on this girl's mentally fucked brain and then sent her out into the wind so that they could keep the case long enough for whatever the fuck we're at now. There is no excuse and no reason why they couldn't have sat any of these people for deposition, why they couldn't have filed anything earlier from Melina or anybody else, but because they've dragged their feet on everything, because it's not even they drag their feet on everything, they just have nothing, and they know they have nothing, and they know that nothing will come up. But now they want to move back. Discovery was supposed to end in 2 weeks. Do you know who Solo is now? I know everything now. But it doesn't matter until this court case is over.
I think I'm allowed to reveal this, right? Hold on, let me check with Steven.
So,
Discovery
was supposed to end on December 16th. This was supposed to be the thing that I was like petrified and terrified of because apparently I was hiding so much stuff. But alas, it has been plaintiff who has been engaged in a rampant deletion of and obscuring of and hiding of materials while she continues to send me a whole bunch of irrelevant, random, stupid shit while she visits her fake wife that she has in fucking Miami that she illegally married to get a green card. I know for a fact that this is exactly what she did because Lauren De Laguna also helped facilitate.
How's Pxie capable of all of this? How is it possible that she's capable of all of this? Like, this is some not criminal mastermind, but she is, I don't know, just very surprising.
All of this is 100% fucking true. She can sue me if she doesn't like it, because truth is an absolute defense of defamation, and I know how litigious she is, so knock yourself out. Like I said, this is all stuff I'm going to be fucking going on hardcore after this fucking case ends, which is probably one of the reasons why they want to delay it ending. But more specifically, plaintiff respectfully requests an extension of the discovery cutoff of 60 days, which would place the new discovery cutoff date on February 17th, 2026, with a proposed new deadline for dispositive motions of March 16th, 2026, and a pre-trial motions deadline of April 18th, 2026, with the current trial date of May 18th, 2026 remaining in place, unless the court finds a brief continuance of the trial date to be appropriate. There is no fucking world where if this got extended, the discovery all the way to February, I don't believe that that the trial date would remain the same. They're going to try to kick it all down the road as much as possible. The active discovery period in this matter did not commence until the protective order governing discovery is issued, blah, blah, blah. This leaves no more than 3.5 months for the parties to conduct discovery under the current scheduling order. As of today, and further detailed below, the following discovery has not yet been completed. 1, written discovery has been exchanged, but there are unresolved objections to defendant's document production. I have
Okay, I just got told
produced way more than she has, and I produced everything that's responsive to what she's asking for. The only stuff that they're still asking for is like retarded shit, like we need like Lycan's address, or we need cryptographic hash. Like if you want, I could just go generate a hash on all my text files. It's just the most retarded random shit in the universe. But there's like 7 or 8 outstanding things that nice, sorry. There's like 7 or 8 outstanding things that we've requested that we have nothing of. I don't have any of Pixie's conversations with Aaron. I don't have any of her conversations with Lauren. I don't have any of her conversations that are super responsive to any all of the people that we've found for subpoenaing are people that we've had to find on our own. She didn't disclose any of them initially, and they've tried to throw up roadblocks to us subpoenaing or doing depositions for anybody.
Good call for asking.
Well.
Whew, okay, almost burnt the Destiny bridge there. Whew, okay, thank God. Whew.
I mean, maybe would they help her case? Who knows? We haven't deposed them yet. The depositions of plaintiff and defendant have not been rescheduled, despite plaintiff's good faith effort to do so. So the thing that scares me about this, about trying to move back the dates here, is that this argument is decently strong, and generally, like, we're going to fight the motion, but like, generally speaking, you have to depose the parties to the case. So because the judge hasn't ruled on our protective order, and because neither party, so me nor Pxie, have been deposed yet, I feel like the judge will extend the discovery. I guess I'm hoping maybe it'll only be a month instead of 2 months. I don't know. But like we haven't done anything. So is that allowed? If it is, why don't you do it too? Why don't I do what? There's nothing for me to do. I don't have anything to hide. Like I don't need to do anything like that. I don't need to. And also, technically, all the depositions they've done have just been incredibly helpful to me. Their deposition of Rose, which they thought was going to be this slam dunk fucking crazy thing, ended up biting them in the ass hardcore halfway through that fucking deposition. They realized they were completely and totally fucked. So no, I don't have anything to fucking hide on this shit. Like, all my shit is leaked to the public, is out in the open, is whatever anyway. Like, the only people with shit to hide right now are Lauren, who is apparently stalking and harassing me fucking publicly when I visit other states, and then fucking Pxie, who likes to just close her eyes like the retarded dipshit she is and pretend that none of this is even happening while she, you know, travels around to Miami and hangs out with her fake fucking wife and posts these fucking videos on TikTok or whatever. And then, you know, does her 7 years of law school in Illinois or however the fuck long it's going to take her to get her 4th degree. The deposition of
Pull your Destiny by betraying Destiny?
Scheduled. I don't even know what they could possibly hope to talk to her about, but okay. Furthermore, while plaintiff diligently sought and participated in a discovery since the issuance of the protective order, defendant's production of documents has been demonstrably deficient and tardy. Plaintiff engaged in a meet and confer with defense counsel, which resulted in supplemental productions of documents, including the most recent production on November 25th, but plaintiff contends that the production is still deficient and thus anticipates filing a motion to compel. Yeah, we'll see. The last stuff... Oh, actually, I should say, the last stuff that they tried to ask for was, I think they were saying, like, we need all your recent conversations with, like, Foodshops and Zip or whatever. And it's like, excuse me, I'm sorry.
No. I don't think my messages with Steven should be leaked. Okay, they're of a more sensitive variety.
Are you stupid fuck? You don't get to just like mine all my random personal conversations because you're fucking bored and you're some loser who has nothing to do with their life but read through my Discord logs. Like, eat shit, kick rocks. Like, get the fuck out of here. It's so stupid. The last three, and there were like 3 or 4 random Discord people like, oh, we need all your reason. Like, shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of here. Give me a single conversation that's actually responsive to what we've asked for. And but plaintiff will also require adequate time to investigate her forensic expert's findings of potential spoliation and tampering of evidence by defendant. Well, how much more time do you fucking need to sit there and read some guy who's tech illiterate who filed a bullshit SIR reply to retract 2 paragraphs of his quote unquote expert witness testimony like the day after he fucking filed it? Give me a fucking break. Which plaintiff could not have anticipated. In view of the incomplete discovery and the looming discovery cutoff date, plaintiff's counsel proposed the parties file a joint motion to extend the deadlines and suggested dates for the depositions of plaintiff and defendant in Miami during the same week in early January. Oh, so now you can schedule it in the same week? Oh, I thought before that was impossible. But if it's going to be past the December deadline, oh, now all of a sudden you're willing to do it. Good one. Good one. Exhibit B, defendant's refusal to agree to a reasonable modification of certain deadlines smacks of bad faith and gamesmanship and an ulterior motive to prevent the defendant's deposition from taking place. Even the moderate request of a 60-day continuance plaintiff proposed would make it difficult to allow the parties to reasonably conduct discovery and resolve any discovery disputes, given that it would set an active discovery period spanning less than 6 months. It would be highly prejudicial to plaintiff to be unable to take the deposition of defendant or complete other discovery in this matter. Courts routinely extend discovery, blah, blah, blah. Relevant factual background. That's just the case. Plaintiff diligently conducted and participated in a discovery. That's a fucking lie. None of the earlier things that I said. Destiny, how does she benefit from pushing the deadline back? Because her case is a loser, and she knew it before she filed the fucking case. So she doesn't want to go to trial. Or maybe she does, but whatever she wants to do, the only thing that damages me is however long this goes on for. The last thing that Pxie wants is the case to be dismissed, for me to win on the motion for summary judgment, or for me to win at trial. She wouldn't care if I win at trial because of that case has gone on for as long as possible. The only thing she has left is to shitpost whatever stuff the mentally retarded Joan is willing to throw in whatever fucking court filing that ChatGPT is willing to write for her. And that's it. That's all she has. So the longer they can keep it going, the more motion practice that she can do. I'm glad that Joan found a new map to grind her motion writing skills in, and has probably leveled up 400 times.
That's crazy.
Writing more motions than every
Jesus.
than every attorney in the state of Florida for the past, I don't know. What?
Oh my god. Thank you, Steven.
So when is discovery over? Discovery was supposed to end in a week and a half. They wanted to go on for another 2 months. What happens after discovery ends? Well, after discovery ends, you can file for your motion for summary judgment. So right now we have an outstanding, there's a lot of outstanding stuff. Right now we have an outstanding motion to dismiss, saying the court doesn't even have the subject matter jurisdiction to hear this case, because they don't even have any allegedly bad behavior that is even in the time frame of like this, of when the law was even written. The chances of winning on that, I thought were low, but they might be higher than I thought. But after discovery ends, you can file a motion for summary judgment. Motion for summary judgment is where the judge is allowed to look at all the data, not all the data, is allowed to look at all the evidence and like a more determinative thing based on what's actually in the record. The motion for summary judgment is where I plan on winning. The only way, it would be really surprising if I didn't win on that. But after
the motion on summary judgment, what is that? A motion for summary judgment is a request for the court to decide a case or part of it without a full trial, arguing that there is no genuine disputes over key facts and the law clearly favors the moving party, meaning a jury couldn't reasonably rule for the other side. Oh, okay. So it's like an early decision, right? Motion for summary judgment is an early decision, right? You want the court to come to an early decision because a trial is a waste of time and a trial is too much work. So you want to end the trial early, right? That's the
After discovery
okay,
ends, that motion for
got
summary
you.
judgment can be filed, but with discovery
I
still ongoing,
understand.
there's no way you can file an MSJ. I mean, you could, but it would be retarded because the judge is more likely to refuse it because he's saying, well, you guys haven't even finished discovery. What the
MSA.
fuck? And I believe you only get one shot at a motion for summary judgment. This is just random excuses that her lawyer's writing for her. We would have sat for these depositions months ago if they hadn't dragged their fucking feet on all the fucking filings and dragged their feet on scheduling anything. Do you have any background info on why this young person hates here, fucking guts, or what's her problem? I don't know. Like I said, my guess is a family friend. She's an immigration lawyer from Puerto Rico who is appearing for Pxie for this case. My guess is she's just a family friend. How many people are maliciously participating on the legal side of this? On the legal side, I mean, it's just her lawyers. Lauren De Laguna herself has contacted at least 9 people where she's reaching out to people to make videos on me. She gave Amy Dangerfield. You remember how she randomly made a video about the court case? It was because
Lauren reached out to me too at the beginning when I was defending Steven. When it was going to be established that I was going to be defending Steven in the early days or whatever, when Destiny first showed up on my stream, Lauren reached out to me and said, "I'm so disappointed in you." It's like, well, I'm sorry.
Lauren was giving her guidance on that. Lauren has spoke to Abba. She spoke to Irrelevant. She emailed Hassan and Ethan to try to hop on their shit. She's reached out to so many different people. It's absolutely fucking unreal how many different people behind this. I don't know how she has the time to do all this shit. It's unbelievable to me. Jesus.
Not surprising in any way.
Defendant's deposition might also shed additional light on plaintiff's spoliation claims, which might result in additional motion practice. I cannot wait. I hope, Joan, I hope you show up for the fucking deposition. You don't send Carlos to do it. You fucking coward piece of shit. Please, God, show up for this. Because I noticed you skipped the evidentiary here.
I feel bad for Carlos. Like, it seems like Carlos is the person who's like, man, can we just get this over with? It seems like Joan is the one that is, like, crazy and is, like, hinging her entire life on this. Pretty
so
unhinged.
Embarrassing. The spoliation of what? They have nothing on this. It is grasping at the thinnest straws possible to try to claim that I've evidence tampered or whatever. Oh my God, I cannot wait for for the party depositions. District courts have unquestionable authority to control their own docket. Blah, 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 blah. List of prior motions to modify search and order, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's this.
So, Steven is totally having a great time, right? Right? He's a happy camper, hopefully. Oh, no.
Carlos. This is just about him testifying the discovery stuff. December 2nd, this was 2 days ago. Counsel, the discovery deadline is December 16th, 2 weeks away. The court has not yet ruled on defendant's motion for protective order, and dates have not yet been set for the deposition by the plaintiff or defendant. There are other pending matters as well, including but not limited to the defendant's document production, plaintiff's potential motion to compel, and the deposition of Melina Urinson. Schedule it. What are you waiting for? We propose filing a joint motion to extend the discovery deadline until February 16th and setting the plaintiff's and defendant's deposition for any 2 days between January 12th and 16th. Well, she's in Miami now, isn't she? Wasn't this stupid fuck here for Thanksgiving? Why couldn't we just do it now? Where is she still here? Hello?
Excuse me? She is busy visiting family, all right? She doesn't have time for a lawsuit. Come on. Can't a queen visit her family these days? Have you tried not being such a bigot and letting her visit her family? Loser.
What do you want? Let's do it.
I mean, she has to take classes. She has to visit family. Come on.
It's because they want to schedule it outside of the discovery window so that they can make another argument.
It literally
for
just a goal.
extending the discovery
Exactly.
Guidelines, or not guidelines, the deadlines. Aha! You file for sanctions against me. I file for sanctions against you. Whoa! Bonnell's Rule 11 motion. Wait, what is this? This is a response and opposition to defendant's motion. Oh, this is their response, and then the next one is the whatever. Yeah. Bonnell's Rule 11 motion constitutes a textbook example of a frivolous sanctions motion brought for the sole purpose of harassing and intimidating plaintiff into withdrawing meritorious claims and/or testing the factual strength or legal sufficiency of plaintiff's claims.
Does she actually have 3 undergrad degrees? I think she has 2 at least. I think the 4 is an exaggeration. I think she's probably going for her 3rd one. The reason why she has 2, I've been told, is because she managed to get a degree, right, a standard degree, and then she had enough credits, overlapping credits, for another degree. So people do this pretty often. Like, a lot of people, when I went to OSU, they would get they would get a computer science degree, and then they would go and get a math degree, right? Because guess what? A math degree is just simply like 2 or 3 more classes, okay? Some people will go, you know what? 2 or 3 more classes is not worth the effort, okay? That's like still several $1,000s, an entire time span worth. But some other people go, you know what? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for 2 degrees, right? Because you can say, well, I'm going for a computer science degree. I'm in the computer science program, but I have a bunch of gen ed overlapping credits to get another degree, okay? However, more than that, I'm not entirely sure like what school she goes to. but whichever school she goes to, I've not really heard of maybe like a minor or associate's degree. I don't know. I just don't know.
So again, and I understand, I don't know if it's where they normally practice law. Maybe Carlos and Joan don't read English, and so they're using a translation. Maybe Pxie's bored and she's playwriting a lot of these motions, or maybe Lauren has in between the 200 clients she supposedly has in her Florida law firm that existed as of 2 months ago. Maybe she's doing all the writing, but Rose could have been a 1-year-old and it would have no bearing on plaintiff's case. This case has nothing to do with who received the status of a person who received it. It has nothing to do with any of that. That's not what's at play here. So I don't know why shoving random things in a footnote to try to harass me is testing the factual strength or legal sufficiency of plaintiff's claims. If either of you are, if you guys are listening, because apparently you listen to all my streams, I can email you the statutes. If you need like to walk through the element one by one, there is no age thing listed out in any of these statutes. So I'm not sure where you're getting these things are. I know you like to make up quotes in parts of the laws, but Jesus Christ. Such a tactical Rule 11 motion is itself subject to Rule 11 sanctions under well-settled 11th Circuit precedent. The strategic yet frivolous nature of Bonnell's motion is substantiated by several factors. First, Bonnell declined to raise his objections in his reply to the fraction of the response to the motion to dismiss he now attacks. Second, Bonnell's protestations are belied. When did that, wait, what was the date of that? Had we done the deposition yet? We might not have known. The reply is DE 149 October 10th. Oh, that's another issue too, you guys. So like October 10th, so we had on the 23rd, hold on. Sorry, fuck. I need to do a paint for this.
I'm getting old. I'm getting too old.
So we used to make these in math class in first grade. I think these are called like number lines. So 10 is here. Okay, so you go like 11, 12.
Why would you just say we used to make this in math class? Oh, my motherfucker! Everyone knows what a number line is.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22,
Maybe he was joking. He was probably joking.
Okay. Time goes in one direction. How the fuck are we going to say something here on the 10th to some piece of information that we discovered on the 23rd? Do you see how this number here is way after this number here? Do you see how that comes way after? Unless you have a DeLorean that can go 88 miles per hour. I don't know what the point of that is, but okay.
DeLorean?
Bonnell's protestations are belied by the evidence adduced to date, and even by the fact that Bonnell himself referred to the exchanges described in the disputed footnote in the identical manner in which plaintiff did. Yeah, but more information came out. We have more information because you fucking morons thought that you could do a big fucking owner awesome deposition that ended up exploding in your fucking face. Third, Bonnell's objections are patently premature. By way of example, as of the time of Bonnell's Rule 11 motion was served, Bonnell had yet to sit for deposition, including to testify about the events in question. At most, Bonnell might opt to raise his objections in a motion for summary judgment or motion for lemine at the appropriate juncture, or he could have moved to strike. Fourth, Rule 11 is not designed to resolve a disputed factual issue raised in a single footnote of a response, which would unnecessarily increase the cost. Why are you, the factual issue here is not relevant to any of your claims, though. They're not relevant to any of the elements to anything here. Lemony, is that it? Fifth, Bonnell's Rule 11 motion is devoid of any legal discussion about the relevance of similar acts by Bonnell. Coupled with the unsupportable nature of his factual contentions, Bonnell's arguments amount to no more than conclusory and misleading contentions. Quoting the legal standard. Bonnell's characterization of the facts misleading. As an initial matter, it should be noted that Bonnell does not actually dispute that this person, screen name Rose, here and after referred to as Rose, was a minor when pornographic materials were exchanged prior to her October 2022 birthday, just as plaintiff accurately noted in the footnote. That's not exactly what you said in the footnote, but okay. Docket entry 183 at 1 and 6, defendant arguing, rather, that Rose's age is immaterial, will be, because when you're a lawyer, you make multiple arguments at the same time, right? That's why you have 5 different arguments here and not just one, because you always make every argument you can, right? Indeed, Bonnell was apparently concerned enough about Rose having been a minor at the time that he raised the issue at her deposition. A fact Bonnell fails to disclose in his Rule 11 motion. What does this have to do with anything? Exhibit A, the declaration, blah, 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 blah. Bonnell himself generally refers to exchanges of materials between Bonnell and Rose in the same manner plaintiff did in the footnote, and tellingly raised no such objection to the footnote therein. Yeah, because we didn't have the information at the time. Why am I even reading this? I'm just getting, it's just here, this is just to troll me. It is patently clear that Bonnell's argument boils down to an objection to the relevance of Rose's age at the time, but he bases this objection on representations to this court, which are, however, anything but undisputed. Specifically, Bonnell posits that the fact that Rose is a minor is irrelevant because 1, Rose's then boyfriend Solo was catfishing Bonnell. 2, Rose was not directly operating the social media account through which the pornographic materials were exchanged, any of the accounts, by the way. And 3, Rose did not see any of plaintiff's materials. D183 at 1, despite the fact that it is patently improper to force plaintiff to litigate these highly disputed factual issues at this stage of the case for the reasons set forth in sections 2 and 3, and for a plaintiff addresses why Bonnell's contentions are problematic. Then why are you putting them in footnotes? Then why would you put something like this in a fucking footnote? Bonnell admits, for example, that Rose also testified that Solo shared with her materials Bonnell sent to Rose over the imposter account. C, Exhibit A, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Rose admitted that she was shown a handful of videos that Destiny sent via the imposter account. Rose also testified that Solo shared with her the Discord messages exchanged with Bonnell. I'm not sending these, though. I'm not the one sending these. Your stupid fucking ass didn't name Solo as a party to the case. You're not suing him. You're suing me. I'm not the one sending these things to that other person.
Well, this is why, like, I think this is, God, what's it called? Legal defamation? where you get things published, like I have to consider a possibility that a path that people are taking is, well, we're going to find a way to defame you by filing a bunch of crap that has nothing to do with the case, but we're going to do it anyway because, well, la epic defamation, right? And yeah, ultimately, that's what I think is going on, okay? I think they're trying to get as much as possible on record so that in the future, people are able to be directed to a court case that Destiny has had before. Like, for example, after this court case is over, once they have put all of this defamatory information onto the court listener like documentation, because it's all out in public, I think the plan is that anti-fans would then direct future connections of Steven to look at a previous lawsuit that he has had in order to essentially defame him, right? To continue their cancellation attempt after the lawsuit is over, right? Basically spread around the lawsuit as much as possible, just so then they see, well, do you see how on the legal record, like he is someone who contacted the minor or something like that? That is my suspicion. So whenever you guys see something relating to, whenever you guys see something relating to, oh, why is this here, right? There's no reason for this to be here. You're right. There is no reason for this to be here. Unless the reason why it's there is because it is used in such a manner in which it is defamatory, right? Yeah.
And that she knew that the explicit images and videos that she took of herself
Maybe?
would be provided
Okay.
to Bonnell. Rose further testified that she does not know the plaintiff. This is important because if Rose does not know the plaintiff, she could not know one way or another whether one of the handful of videos that Destiny sent depicted plaintiff. Because stuff has come out afterwards, because stuff was leaked online. I'm getting one guide. I'm not getting one guide. Based on these facts, the question whether Rose ever saw plaintiff's materials is anything.
Because again, okay, the key here is never about the key here is never about the about winning the case. It was never about winning the case. It's always been about trying to keep a public record of Steven's various what they consider to be crimes and misdemeanors and stuff like that to ruin his career forever, right? Like that is the goal, I think, at the end of the day. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
But
about
undisputed.
that. Okay.
Even if she was Pxie sent, holy shit, Pxie sent porn to a child? Is that what we're saying now? Is this the transitive property of bad legal arguments? Damn, that's crazy. Disgusting. I can't believe she did that. Holy fuck. Gross. Rule 11 sanctions against Bonnell are warranted for exhibiting a deliberate indifference to obvious facts. Furthermore, Rose's testimony also reveals that because A, she was aware of Bonnell being catfished through the imposter account, and that sexually explicit material of her would be shared with Bonnell. B, Bonnell was making requests for explicit material, and that C, materials were being shared in this manner, and then at times shown to her. She was at least indirectly communicating with Bonnell. Based argument. True. This person, by the way, who told me that they were 18 or 19 years old, this person who I no claims whatsoever about this person being a minor ever, number one. Number two, I'm not.
Wait, so to be very clear, there was at least one time in which Destiny was asking Solo, not Rose, to accompany him on Discord for his depression, right? Under the guise that oh my god, under the guise that Steven believed that Solo was a 19-year-old named Rose. Oh my god. Because if you guys remember, the one piece of evidence I keep on showing is Steven hit up Rose years ago in order to come down from a depression spiral, right? He DMs Rose, hey, I know it's a little bit silly asking a 19-year-old to accompany me when I'm having a mental breakdown or I'm feeling a little depressed right now, but like, could you accompany me for a moment, right? Like, basically just talk in Discord and that's it, right? That's what I'm assuming, right? And wow, if that was Solo the entire time, I have to say that is of the most homosexual nature. Okay. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Okay. Have you maxed all your exploration records? No. I should do that. I should do that. I shouldn't just be fucking around on.
I'm not even talking to this fucking person. I'm talking to a person operating the account
I'll do that
catfishing.
right now,
okay, but based. We're basically besties, is what my good friend Carlos here is trying to say. Thank you, Your Honor. Thus, the footnote stating that Bono was exchanging material with a minor is not incorrect. So I guess Pxie was too then? The fact that Solo acted as a go-between. A go-between? The guy who was trafficking her is a go-between. I'm just kidding. That's okay. Go-between.
Wait, hold on. Well, wait. Okay, so he's a potential sex trafficker, right? Could it be the case that like he flew? Wait, hold on. So Solo and Rose, like the real Rose, met in person, right? Solo and the real Rose met in person. I'm assuming he's defined as a trafficker because he flew her to his place in order to give him a bunch of sexual material, I'm assuming. And then she just ends up being blackmailed, and then she just ends up like being put in a very blackmailing kind of situation. That's my guess. Okay, that's my guess. Okay,
based. Yeah. Doesn't alter this assertion. Well, I mean, it kind of fucking does, but okay. The fact remains that Bono requested explicit material of a minor and that the minor provided it for him, and he received it and viewed it. No indication that this person was underage at the time. I'm not requesting anything directly from this person. I'm not even sure. I should go through if they offered this all or if I was requesting anything. I would have to go back and check. I don't even know if I requested anything. This person was forthcoming with a whole bunch of shit. But this person apparently was her creepy, weirdo fucking adult boyfriend from the UK who was running the fucking account. But okay. And while Rose repeatedly testified that she did not message directly with Bonnell, she also testified that she did not recall whether she ever spoke to him via other means. I honestly don't remember if I ever called Bonnell. Moreover, Bonnell produced in this case his communications with an individual with a screen name, Straight Rate, which included messages on November 29th, in which he states that he had decent length phone calls with Rose multiple times about both of our personal things, never had a problem, issue, fight over literally anything else. I thought I had at the time. It's possible that there was another person I was chatting with on the phone instead. I know that this Rose person offered to call me, or we talked about calling. Although at this point, apparently Solo literally could have just had her call me and we would have talked that way. But none of this is material to any of this stuff. I think after I said this, when Pxie filed her court case, I'm pretty sure I went back and I checked the logs that I had. By the way, that Pxie has as well, because unlike her, I actually produced my fucking discovery information. There are no calls in our Discord history, and I have no calls in my phone logs about calling any fucking phone numbers from fucking Illinois or anything else. So, do you think it was a woman or someone using a voice changer? No, if I would have called her, it would have been around the time when all the crazy Lauren shit was happening. But there was another person I was talking to too. So my guess is I was just talking to this person. But I was texting this Solo person, I guess, a lot as well. But I don't even know what the story. Why would I lie? Why would I lie about this? Unless the oh well, I guess the logistical Discord theory is that I contacted Rose ahead of time, and then me and her set up a whole devious plot to fuck with Pxie, I guess. But
the levels to this catfishing are insane. Well, because it seems as though Solo is like an experience. She like Solo legitimately seems like a career criminal, right? Like the amount of time Solo has probably, like, this isn't just some random Discord shitter, right? Otherwise, like, there would be lots of signs at this point. Like someone who maintains a guise or a disguise of some kind to this long, like is definitely somebody who is experienced in something like this, right? Like my guess is that this person does this regularly to other women. And this is just a part of their business model. Like their business model is literally just blackmailing people with nudes and collecting underage nudes in order to sell online, right? Like I'm guessing, like, and I imagine he must make a fat cash, right? He is a seller of CP. He's a seller of CP. Yeah, this is like probably you know the stories of like really, really, really bad people on the internet who are genuinely like selling CP and distributing that shit that people make like horror videos about and shit. Yeah, I mean, this might be what we're dealing with. Actually, maybe it is. Okay, just straight up is. This is like who we're dealing with. And yeah, career criminal, okay? Yeah, good luck.
As such, Bono's claim that he never communicated with Rose, including when she was a minor, is misleading and belied by the record. How unbelievably inappropriate in a back and forth in a civil suit that has nothing to do with fucking child porn or anything to try to be litigating this in these bullshit ass replies and these bullshit ass Rule 11 sanctions. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, these are big claims. Like, if you want to have like a formal actual case relating to this fucking shit, well then let's fucking do that. But why, the fact that I have to litigate whether or not I'm a fucking pedophile in replies to court motions on a totally unrelated matter, like, Jesus. The evidence shows that Rose was also victimized by blood altered toxin. The Kiwi Farms arguments, copy pasting all of it. And that, despite suspecting that Rose was a minor, I never suspected Rose was a minor, ever. Why the fuck would I post anything about this person? They know this. I don't know why I'm shouting. They know that this is all retarded as fuck.
I think that there's way less people in the world that does this than you think. But there still exists at least one person like this who is out there who is willing to do something like this, right? Does that make sense? Like I don't think, because people like to kind of gaslight themselves and like to, their imaginations kind of go wild with shit like this, where they go like, well, they have like an underground warehouse storage full of women who are trafficked and they're being sold off to the highest bidders of a bunch of billionaires and millionaires, and they all hide this. All of them hide the secret. No. The vast majority of cases like this is probably just this, right? It's just straight up people like Solo, right? Like a one-man operation who is trying to trick women by themselves to sell pornography off to people who do not check for ID or anything like that. And even if they check for ID, it's because the criminal themselves already has like a pretty like fake ID at the time ready to pass along or something, right? Like there are so many reasons. There are so many reasons why, like, yeah. Typically, you know, when you talk about shit like, oh, some underground like child trafficking ring, or like where they store like 50 women or some shit like that, typically, like, I'm just gonna say this, like, typically the reason why that doesn't happen is because you're talking about a conspiracy and it's hard to keep secrets, okay? It's within people, it's within human nature to whistleblow and to tell their friends and family, and eventually a secret spreads, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's just not really a thing. Yeah, that's another, and human errors happen all the time to which, you know, these things can be exposed, you know? So, yeah, they're really not as common as you think. But when it does happen, it probably would look like this, and this is why it's more believable, right? Because this does seem like something that someone can plausibly do by themselves.
Despite suspecting that Rose was a minor, he tried to send a group of guys to find her because he wanted to talk to her.
With that being said, I'm not saying that this person is a good person or anything, right? This doesn't mean this person is better. This person is still scum of the earth, right? Like, this person is as bad as any one of these conspirators that are locking up like 50 women in like a warehouse, right? Because they are like still knowingly trying to do blackmail with like underage porn, right? Like, holy shit. Yeah,
because my impression at the time was either she was directly involved in leaking all my shit, or whoever was running the account was leaking all my shit, and I wanted to know who the fuck it was. I think I had that right, and since your fucking client is too fucking retarded to actually file a court case because the person leaked everything, apparently I'm the only one that can find any of this shit. So yeah, I was trying to find out who the fuck the person was. While it is understandable that Bunnell seeks to have these disturbing facts stricken from the record, his Rule 11 motion represents a transparent attempt to intimidate plaintiff into withdrawing her meritorious allegations. What allegations are you fucking making? Such bad faith tactics weren't sanctioned against Bunnell and his counsel, going after Andy B. Wait, what? I knew a Rose from a Discord server. They said they were taking a break around like July of 2023. Would be crazy if it's the same person. Wait, who? I'm so curious. Post the name of the Discord account in YouTube chat, because I guess fuck it. If we're just throwing shit from the whatever in here, so I knew that whatever the actual story was, there was going to be some hard to account for fact. So in my mind, the reason why there's no possible way that this could have been a catfish, the strongest piece of evidence that I had personally was, if it was a catfish, why is it that when I messaged, one, why would they send material for so long, and then two, when I messaged the person, why wouldn't they just try to get more material out of me? Like, I never had a fight with this person ever. We were on super good terms. Like, why would they not just keep saying like, oh, hey, like, send me more videos, or let's gossip more, or whatever else? But I found out why, and the reason why is because the, wait, what?
Yeah, I doubt
that's not the same person. The reason why is because this, whoever this Rose person was, broke away from the Solo guy in, I believe it was August of 2023. And so now I understand why, because that was around, I think, even when they told me that they broke up with their boyfriend, but it was Solo.
Bro, that gave me a heart attack.
Himself on her account. And then that.
I just had my life flash before my eyes, like instantly, just right now. I was like, what? Huh?
That's why they didn't send me anything else or try to do any more back and forth, because they didn't have access to the original person anymore. So that, I understand now why that, why our communication stopped and why they didn't try to get more stuff out of me. It makes sense. But you in YouTube chat just said that you knew a Rose that said in 2023 in July, when I think it was August. That's really crazy if that's the case. If that's the same person, that's really crazy.
I never knew who Rose was.
I don't have receipts and never DM them. They were just acting in general.
Dude.
Okay. Huh. Maybe it might have been the same person.
You know what kind of type shit this is? This is a friend I had all my life turned out to be a hallucination type shit, dude. This is a Calvin and Hobbes, except Hobbes is an imaginary, like, hallucination that is conjured up by Calvin's delusions and schizophrenia. Absolute cinema.
Could that be the real Rose? I would have to know the Discord account because apparently there was. Oh, well, I don't know. She went back. I don't know if she used that one much though. I'm not sure, but that could have been sold on that account. Queenman viewer, by the way, and Justical fan, by the way. For who this old guy is, but
wait, solo.
Rule
right?
11 prohibits conversion of factual disputes into a sanctions dispute. Do they even dispute that Solo guy was the one that posted the material online? How's that even relevant? They don't want to go anywhere near that because even if they were to get over the threshold issues, and even if they were to establish subject matter jurisdiction, and even if they were to demonstrate that I transmitted this video after the effective date, and even if they were to get this all the way to trial, and even if a jury were to find me liable or guilty of it, they would still have to get into an argument over what kind of damages would even be awarded, because the proximate cause, the foreseeability of my actions, like how much would it have led to anything, the main guy that would be liable for stuff would be the Solo person. This is why Pxie got shot down by the first two real attorneys that tried to take her case. Because they knew that like your damages aren't going to be on this guy who might have sent the video to one person. It's going to be the guy who posted it fucking online. That's where all of your damages are. But the reason why they don't bring up him or him posting anything is because they probably want to try to section that off as much as possible to get me as liable for as much as possible. But they would have to clear. They have to clear so many fucking hurdles to get to that place. But the person said that their Discord name was Rose emoji Rose. Well, that's the display name, but that won't be the actual Discord name. But okay.
That could be anybody. Well, okay, all right, okay. That person. Look, I'm sure that person has good intentions. Okay, look, listen. Okay, I'm sure that person has good intentions, but that person is that person is a little special. Okay,
that might have been them. Maybe. I'd have to go check. Interesting. Small world. Small online world.
No.
Bonel's Rule 11 tactic in the case at bar is particularly telling for several reasons. A, again, Bonel did not even raise his objection in his B, this case is still in the pleading stage. Yeah, the pleading stage. We haven't even started discovery yet, by the way. It's not even started yet. Does this discovery stage count as the pleading stage? Where's Kafka at? And C, the issue is at most an objection he may raise any motion
for mercy.
What is it? Lemony? At the appropriate juncture. Indeed, as of this date, Bonel served his Rule 11 motion. Bonel himself has yet to sit for deposition, which further highlights the calculated and misleading nature of his premature Rule 11 motion. Bonel's Rule 11 motion to send harass plaintiff and pressure into abandoning relevant claims. They're not relevant. By voluntarily striking them from her opposition, thereby demanding that she waive her right to raise these issues. You don't even have standing for these issues. What the fuck are you talking about? Right to raise these issues on whose behalf? What are you talking about? As noted, a careful review of his Rule 11 arguments reveals that Bonel does not, in fact, be the Rose of minor when pornography videos were exchanged. True. There were probably hundreds of millions of minors on the planet. Do you think that Bratler is polished up enough on his time cube to compete with Joan P? Because when they reply to you, pointing out the 23rd is after the 10th by noting that midday is just the shadow of midnight, I don't know if Andy will be prepared. True.
Oh fuck. Okay. I don't even know. I don't even want to know what that means. Midday is the shadow of midnight. It's crazy.
Limini rhymes with Jiminy. Limini, like that.
I don't know why that's so funny. Just sounds so cheesy and corny. Oh my god.
Well, Bonel is expected to argue that Rose's testimony was adduced after the briefing on the motion to dismiss was completed. Oh, good job. Okay. Oh, they do know time. This does not render his conduct in bringing his Rule 11 motion any less egregious. Bonel's objection is that these allegations against him are false, which he could have, but declined to contest by submitting a declaration. But why would I have to submit a declaration? We did a deposition. Why do we need a declaration from me? We already have the deposition of the person. But the underlying timelines or timeliness issue also further underscores that Rule 11 was not designed to threaten sanction every time some evidence is adduced during discovery that one party can attempt to frame a certain way. If that were permitted, litigants would bring hundreds of Rule 11 motions on a rolling basis. Yeah, maybe you would, dipshit. Maybe don't stick random fucking shit in footnotes with the goal of defaming or harassing me as part of a lawsuit. Also, by the way, because I'm learning cool, I guess, civil procedure stuff, ordinarily, this is the loser way to do court stuff, okay? So let's say I have a potential, we'll say a potential person who might have information about a court case, okay? Person of interest. We'll just call him this, okay? Now,
POI?
stupid, okay? If you learn this in law school or whatever, you're retarded, okay? So what you might think is like, oh, well, I am the plaintiff. I'm going to go ahead and shoot a subpoena to them and request that they sit for a deposition, okay? During a deposition allows the plaintiff to ask them questions, and it allows the defendant to ask them questions. And then we get a nice transcript. We both get to ask our questions. As part of the subpoena, I think we can ask for other documents as well, right? Wow, okay? This is a loser approach, okay? Instead, we have the upgraded model, the Joan Peters approach, okay? Now, let's say
The Joan Peters, okay, let me guess. The Joan Peters approach is the defendant side asks the POI questions. The POI gives answers that the plaintiff side does not like, and the plaintiff side will just call her liar and liar over and over again. Based, victimizing the victim even more. Based. So did Destiny beat the case, or is he close to beating it? It's a really long edging session. Okay, all right. You know these edging sessions where you just spend like hours and hours like being on the edge, but you're not like there yet. In a way, like you don't want it to end yet. It's kind of what that feels like. You know what I mean? You get me?
Or the plaintiff when you have a person of interest. Deposition? Don't do a deposition. That's lame. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to get an affidavit, okay? Affidavit / declaration. Because why have them sit for a deposition where they can get cross-examined? Well, it shouldn't be cross-examined because not technically they're wet, right? Why have them sit for a deposition? We just get like a piece of paper for them to sign, and then after that, then they're gone into the wind. So now the defense doesn't even have the ability to ask them a question, okay?
Or the Joan Peters like fucking way of doing it. Just fucking disappear. Just fucking disappear.
They are not responsive to any subpoenas. They avoid any request for deposition. Plaintiff doesn't even make a request. Plaintiff.
You can't lose. You can't look bad. Okay, you can't get answers you don't want to hear in a deposition that you don't show up to. Based. The only way to win the game is by not playing the game. Oh my god.
Isn't even deposing their star witness, right? But why would you do that? You don't need to depose them. You already have a statement on the record in the form of an affidavit. Why would anybody ever do a deposition? Why would you ever do why would you depose somebody? Well, you could just get an affidavit. This is based. I think everybody should do this. So that's a Keynote strategy. Second Keynote strategy I've picked up, okay? Second Keynote strategy I've picked up. Is somebody deposing somebody that you think might have bad information against you? Well, let me tell you the Keynote strategy. Let's say that there's a person of interest. You think it might be bad for you. You know they have information about you, and you don't disclose them during your initial disclosures. Initial disclosures, by the way, don't ever disclose anything that could be hurtful towards you, because that would be bad for your case, right? So let's say the defense somehow manages to find this person, and they shoot a subpoena to this person saying, hey, we want to depose you. And obviously, when you're firing off a subpoena, you have to make this available to the opposing counsel as well. Well, when you see that subpoena go out, your best bet is, instead of saying, hey, we'll go with you to the deposition so we can both ask questions. Loser! That would be the loser way. Don't do that. Instead, do the go around, have a conversation with this person, represent this person, and then block the subpoena. Gee, my brain exploded. Oh, I can't believe I never thought of this strategy. It's such a great strategy. That way, nobody ever has to sit for any depositions ever. Just represent every single person, apparently. Just represent every single person that OC is trying to depose. And now you can always fight every subpoena and they never have to sit for anything. It's just ingenious. That's the stuff they don't teach.
Okay, I get it. Okay, I get what he's saying. He's saying that, normally, like, both sides would show up for a deposition in order to ask the POI questions, right, in order to gather evidence for the lawsuit. But in this case, the way that Joan Peters does things is that Joan Peters seems to try to look as though to unofficially represent a side, represent the POI as a victim against the defendant. And even though it is against their will, they don't want it, and it doesn't really matter because they're going to make the argument anyway in court that, hey, I'm going to represent Rose, or I'm protecting Rose from the defendant or some shit like that. And then bam, I guess like you can then do a bunch of bullshit. That is based, okay? All right, that's what we call winning, okay? There is working hard, but there is working smart, okay?
This is stuff they don't teach in law school. Can you remember who they did this to? I don't know what's public on the schedule or not. It's at least 3 people so far, which is based. Honestly, it's based.
That's crazy.
I never thought of this. That's crazy shit.
Of course you wouldn't think of it. You're not a lawyer.
However, see section V, infra, for a preliminary discussion as to relevance. Nevertheless, at the motion to dismiss stage, it is well within the court's ability to determine which arguments are relevant and to ignore any arguments it deems irrelevant. In any case, Bynel did not argue that the footnote is not relevant in his reply. Did we not put that in the reply?
Yeah, I'm definitely getting too old for this.
Brettler, in his reply to Carlos, said that they represent 4 people on interest. Wait, is that true? Wait, Armageddon. Oh my God. Wait, link me that reply. I didn't see it. That would just be fun. So I can read it on stream so I know for sure it's all public. This is from November 5th, 2025.
Yeah. Okay.
The court issued a show cause order to plaintiff. No, we are not amenable to rescheduling deposition time. Wait, was this in here? Did you link the right thing? Oh, from Andrew Brettler. Any delay in the prosecution of this case has been of plaintiff and her counsel's own doing. Indeed, plaintiff failed to show up for her own deposition. Plaintiff's counsel, who also represent 4 of the witnesses to whom Mr. Bynel issued subpoenas of this action, have actively obstructed. You can't. I'm sorry. I hope you guys realize I'm being sarcastic. You can't do this. This is retarded. If somebody subpoenas somebody for a case, you can't run around to that person and go, "Hey, by the way, looking for some, representation." 1, it's a massive fucking conflict of interest, and 2, it's obvious fucking collusion. You're not supposed to collude with witnesses. Now, I don't know if I can prove that they're colluding to doctor their testimony or whatever, but you can't run around and collect people like fucking Monopoly pieces or whatever. You can't run around and just collect new people to represent every time I issue a fucking subpoena against them. What is the capacity for this law firm for my case? Is this like a whole ass fuck? Do they have like 30 different associates who are all working on this from Puerto Rico? What the fuck? Okay. Sorry.
What the fuck, bro?
It's just a joke. It's okay. Where were we?
Bro.
Can you get Joan or Carlos disbarred for this? No! Hopefully they get in trouble, but courts are goofy things and people are goofy people. So what are you going to do? When is the next scheduled hearing? Whenever our God, the judge, rules on our things, we'll figure it out.
Okay, but he's certain that
First, there's no dispute that Bynel's conduct surrounding Rose is squarely alleged in the complaint, and
that Lauren De Laguna, right?
Except not even, because you lost the whole date aspect related to anything having to do with this person at all anyway. So it actually super doesn't matter. But you know who you might have had a really good argument against? Imagine if that solo guy had sent those videos to her after the Cardi cutoff date. Whoa, that might have been a really good person to name in the fucking case. Maybe that would have been a really good person to go at.
True, but okay. But then Cardi doesn't apply outside of Florida, right? Both Solo and Rose are outside of Florida. But true, yeah, I get. But yeah, but then they're outside of Florida. But true.
After maybe,
Guess.
Additionally, under the statute plaintiff invokes in the case at bar, prior instances of sexual cyber harassment are plainly relevant. A person who has 1 prior conviction for sexual cyber harassment, who commits a second or subsequent sexual cyber harassment against a felony of the 3rd degree. Wait, what the fuck? Under the statute plaintiff invokes in the case at bar, prior instances of sexual cyber harassment are plainly. Excuse me, you're talking about upgrading charges for a crime, number 1. And that's for prior convictions, not allegations. Number 2, this is a civil case. Number 3, you haven't even put a single thing in the record to show that I was being malicious. Number 4, you lost all of the arguments having to do with malicious intent because Pxie would have qualified for all of them because she sent me, without his consent, by the way, videos of her own fucking boyfriend at the time. Number 5, they lost on that evidentiary hearing in court. Well, they didn't. I shouldn't say they lost on that, but the judge literally argued against on that. They had no counter retort to that. Why would you even bring this up? It's okay. I'm just leaving. Cross.
Is it okay?
Cross. For Rule 11 sanctions.
Are you okay?
Rule 11? No, you. Stop. You, Rule 11.
Are you okay? Do you need to take a breath, or are you okay, bro? Dude. Oh my God. Oh God. Okay.
Does it make you feel like the system was more ripe for abuse than you originally thought? I mean, I guess a little bit. I don't know much about like court stuff. But again, the issue here is one of the issue here is one of like when you're like this sounds so conceited. I don't care. The reason why celebrity people only mess around with other celebrity people is because everybody has something to lose. I mean, you hear this a lot in like anime or fucking fighting things. Like, don't fight with an opponent with nothing to lose. He's the most dangerous opponent. The reason why is that they have nothing to lose. They don't give a fuck about what happened. Okay. Everything in life is theoretically going to in some ways. If a person wants to ruin somebody else, then the wealthier person has the advantage. But if a person wants to ruin somebody and they're self-destructive, then, well, no, actually, the wealthier person would still have the advantage. I'm just not self-destructive, I guess. But if one side is self-destructive and the other side's not, the side that has less can theoretically have way more leverage because they have nothing to lose, I guess. Literally, they don't care. They have no reputation. They have no stake in anything, yeah. But I guess technically if I was self-destructive, I could do more damage. Wouldn't the judge see all these tactics and put a stop to them? If the judge hasn't called them out, do they possibly have merit? In my opinion, and I would be shocked if anybody disagreed, every substantive ruling the judge has made on this case has been heavily in my favor, I would say. I think they've been chided a number of times for improper behavior, for sending us motions to agree to and then filing different ones with the fucking court, or for playing weird or stupid games with phrases or whatever. So far, I feel like the judges Well, I shouldn't say the judge has done a good job because he's ruled in my favor. I feel like his writings and everything have been good on my end. So is Wicked Supreme implying Rose lied under oath? Yes. Funnily enough, Rose and Pxie did the same. But that's all of Jisticle's Discord server now. Because remember, so that sabasexual guy in Jisticle's Discord server is openly bragging about, in that server, posting emails. This guy created several email accounts and was harassing Rose, was harassing her family, threatening them, telling them like, I hope that you contact John Peters. Oh, I see that you haven't yet. I hope that you have done the right thing. I see that you failed to do that. It's very disappointing. After they were getting doxxed and harassed, by the way, by all of Kiwi Farms, by everybody that watched the stupid fucking Willie Mac videos and everybody else in Jisticle's Discord server, right? And Wicked Supreme is all part of the server where they all laugh about this shit. But now the claim is that I was collaborating with Rose secretly in order to make a whole bunch of lies and shit up and everything. By the way, the only person who collaborated with or tried to do anything with Rose was Joan and Pxie. I had zero access to this person. I have messaged this person one time in my life, and it was when I found their Facebook account, and then I messaged them and they blocked me immediately, whoever the actual Rose person is. But Joan and I guess however many weirdos in Jisticle server were spamming emails at him. We're going back and forth in emails with her for who knows how long. So if anything, this was their witness that they had massaged into a certain thing, who's, by the way, insanely fucking fucked over all of this, whose life has been destroyed like 2 or 3 times now. But,
Jesus
it's all based in
Christ.
Epic. Matt, if you really enjoy, Epic memes, fucking loser.